Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to the Mary D Talk Show. Yay! Here you are. It's so good to see you. I know, like anything, what do I say every Monday? It's a beautiful Monday. And it is. It was raining really, really bad here this week. I say bad. It was a lot for us because it doesn't really rain. It rains. It's been raining a lot lately, but normally not like it is not what we're used to. Let me say that. But let me just say this: it's still a beautiful Monday. Every Monday is beautiful. Every single Monday is beautiful. I'd like to welcome you to the Mary D Talk Show. If you've never been here before, my name is Mary D Welch. I am the host of the Mary D Talk Show. Welcome, live viewers, replay viewers. Welcome to the show. I like to thank you for coming in or tuning in. I like to thank our executive producer of the show, Oliver Welch. Hi, babe. He's executive producer. I like to thank our sponsors for the show. They are the Idea Club, and I always like to honor Dumas Martin Jr. He is the founder and originator of the Idea Club. You can go to the Idea Club by going to theideaclub.com. I like to also thank um, the Front Page Publishing. If you are looking to write and publish a book, you can go to Front Page Publishing. Even if you have an idea, by the way, you go to frontpagepublishing.com. The word front, page publishing.com, and leave your information in there, and someone from the team will contact you. You can write your book. It can be your memoirs. It can be, as many of you know, I write children's books. I write other books too, but primarily I write a lot of children's books. It can be fiction. Those of you who have fiction books, you name the book. It can be any book you think of. It can be, and all you have to really do is have an idea. And I've even worked with people that didn't have the ideas yet. They didn't know what they wanted to do, but the goal was they knew they wanted a book and they want their name on the cover of the book. So we made that happen for them. So that's how it tells you. Sometimes we don't have it all figured out, and we can still put a book together for you. So just so you know. So if you're interested in writing a book, come right there to Front Page Publishing, frontpagepublishing.com, and you can have your book written and published. Now, I'll be honest, you're the one that's going to do the writing. I don't want to give you the wrong impression that we're going to write it for you, but we're going to help you through it. It's myself, and I have a team that you guys like. Where is this team? You don't see them, but they're there. They're there. I promise you, they're there, and they are the ones that do the editing and all the things that go into the book. That's what the team is for. So if you're interested, frontpagepublishing.com. Also, nonprofit is Main Ambition. You go to mainambition.org and you will see the nonprofit. So if you just go the word Main, ambition.org. And I have to slow down because some people say you said things kind of fast and sometimes they don't get it. So I'm learning to slow down a little bit too. So let me say that. And I want to say hi to, I see we have Antonio. Hi, Antonio. Nice to see you. And I believe Antonio's in Minnesota. Correct me if I'm wrong, Antonio. And Elaine, hi, Elaine. Elaine says, hi, Mary. WAG finished early today as I'm on time. Yay, Elaine. Happy Monday. And I pray that you and your family had a blessed Resurrection Sunday and Easter Day. We did. Thank you, Elaine. We had a niece that came from Philadelphia and was visiting with her family. Then we have another niece, and she lives in down in the San Diego area, and so we got a chance to meet you. I haven't posted the pictures yet. She has a 2-month-old little girl, just the cutest little thing, and so I haven't had a chance to post those yet, but you'll see those. And okay, it's South Dakota. Okay, I knew it was a cold place, Antonio. I didn't know where, but I knew it was cold. Because every time I've spoken to you and your mom, you always tell me how cold it is. Grand old South Dakota. Okay. I never heard it like that. Grand old South Dakota. All I know is cold. But this is what I've learned too. We can adapt to anything. So if you're used to it, I don't think it's as bad. I think we just have to it's a matter of getting used to it. That's what it is. And how Nanette? Hi Nanette, how are you? Good to see you. I see the smiling faces, Antonio. You said, how am I doing? Oh, I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking. And this Lavinia, hi Lavinia, nice to see you too. Hi there. I will tell you. I haven't got into what today's show is going to be about. Many of you received the email today, and it says one-on-one. When you see one-on-ones, that means that I'm going to give you a topic for the show. That's what the one-on-ones mean. So just so you know, what is a one-on-one? That means I'm going to give you the topic. And so I'm going to tell you what the topic for today's show is. This is different. What does your birth order mean? Let me say that again. Oh, hi, Gwen. Hi, Gwen. Nice to see you. I'm glad you made it. I'm glad you made it. Good to see you. I know, because I know you're at work, and I know that sometimes you can't get on. I totally get it. But it's always nice when you make it in, though. So this is what the topic for today, and I'll put it in the chat. What does your birth order mean? What does it mean to you? Or does it mean anything? Let me put it in there. What? Whoops, here we go. Your birth order. So, mean to you, because like I said, for some of you, there you go. Let me put it up there. It may not mean anything. You may say it didn't matter what order I was. There it is. That's your question. Now, before I'm gonna go and I'll tell you my birth. Should I go first? I mean, I should tell you, let you guys go first. I will say this. This is very rare, by the way. I'm in our birth order. I'm the oldest in my family, and I married an oldest. Oliver's the oldest. So here it is, two oldest. That's not supposed to work, by the way. So an oldest marrying an oldest is not the birth order that normally works. I don't know if you know that. When they compare the birth orders, because that's two strong personalities usually. So that's why it doesn't tend to work. And but I'll tell you what does work. Let me tell you what has I've seen. Not that it can be. Oliver and I've been married over 20 years, but still, a birth order that I know that they say that is a good one is when one is the oldest and one is the youngest. It doesn't matter which one, but one in the couple, one to be the oldest and one to be the youngest, that tends to be the better order. Let me say that. But two oldest, nope, that's not the order that tends to survive, because you have both of those strong personalities clashing. Excuse me. So what is your birth order? Let me ask you that first. Are you the oldest, the middle, the youngest? Which one are you? Does the birth order matter? Okay. Oh, hi, Danielle. I haven't seen you for a minute. For us to live this close, Danielle, it makes no sense. Danielle lives, I think it's 5 houses away. I think we're 5 houses away. So it's always good to see you. Danielle says, hi, Mary, middle child here, and my hubby is the middle child too. See, Danielle? Do you guys, now let me ask you this. Do you think that matters that you're both the middle children? Do you know that they call it the middle child syndrome? They call that a syndrome. I don't know why they do, but they do. So, and then Antonio said he's the youngest. All right, Antonio. So that you be known as the baby. You're the baby, Antonio. Yeah, and you'll always be the baby. You're youngest in your family, you're the baby. And then you said, okay, where is your mother? Is she the oldest, the middle, the youngest in her family, in her siblings? Which one is she? And I don't know on Elaine and Gwen. I know you're from a big family. So I have to ask you which number. I think it's 8. I want to say you're a family of 8 siblings. I think. Don't quote me on that, because I just remember every time I've been to your home, every time you guys were growing up, I always felt welcome. Now that I can say for sure, I always felt welcome. And let's see, Elaine, are you the oldest, the middle, or the youngest? Oh, she's the oldest, you think? Oh, here you go, Gwen. Okay, let me see. Gwen says She's a seven. Oh, it's nine. See, I was close. Nine children. You split by four older, Texas born, five younger, San Francisco born. And I am, you're effective the middle, you're the effective middle child of a group of two, means you've overlooked a bit. Yeah. I think there, I don't know. Yeah, I could see that. I think that happens in big families anyway. I think um, I do. I do. I think that can very easily happen. And Antonio, I mean, yeah, Antonio says mother is the oldest. She's the oldest. You believe she's the oldest? Okay. Okay. Let me ask you this. Now, which one are you? Who I missed? I'm just trying to go through there. Lavinia and Nanette and Elaine. Are you the oldest? And Nanette says, I am the firstborn, but my brother, who's 13 months younger, she's 13 months younger than you. Oh, that's real. That's close. So you guys grew up kind of, the same. I mean, that's not a big difference. I have a sister that's 11 months younger than me, so I know exactly. In fact, for 3 days we're the same age, and then I'm the year older. But for 3 days we're the exact during that 3 day period. Lavinia, you said you're the middle, but your older brother and I were born in the same year. I was like, okay, I've heard of that. I have heard of that. Yes. And Antonio, you said you are the youngest. You said, are you the youngest or the oldest? Oh, I'm the oldest. That's what I said. Oliver's the oldest, and I'm the oldest. We're both the oldest of our families. He's the oldest of his. Now, so let me tell you what's interesting too. Oliver's the oldest of five. I am the oldest of five. Isn't that interesting? We're both the oldest of five. We have five siblings that we have four younger than us. Oh, Nanette, you said you're like twins. Hold it. You said like twins. I missed something in that. Okay, yes, that's why when you said that, and people thought my sister and I were twins. Just, I mean, our whole lives. I think I shared with you guys one time. I'm telling you guys these stories, but they're all true. We were in I'm gonna say the fourth and fifth. It was either fourth and fifth or third and fourth grade. I don't remember which one. I just remember we were on the playground, and then my sister said, "Why don't we trade places?" And I said, "I'm not doing that." she wanted me to go to her class, and then she go to my class. I said no. I told her that now I realize, even now as I'm talking about it, my fear of what would happen if we got caught was worse than it wasn't to me. I didn't see the necessity, and I just said no. I didn't hesitate. Nope, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that because if something, they catch us, or it didn't matter to me. I just said no. I just had no. It didn't. I just didn't think. Why would I need to do that? Trade places? No. So I just learned. Then that was, I guess, my introduction into you have to have your own mind, no matter what. But we did growing up. I'll be honest. We looked like twins. We did. But I said no. I can't be trading places. Okay. Yeah, you guys would have to be looking like twins in that, just like we did, because we're so close. And so you too, Lavinia. Lavinia said, I'm in the middle. You're born the same year. You guys people probably thought you guys were twins. Same thing when you're close like that. What I'm noticing though now, people don't have, well, some of you guys probably notice it too. Number one, we don't have as many children, and they definitely don't have them as close. That's out. But we don't have nearly the children we had when I was growing up. I think now if people have 3 children, that's considered a big family. When I was growing up, there were 5, and we were not considered a big family. I knew families of 12 and 13 children. I knew these families. So I knew that was not, it was like, okay, nobody thought anything of it. That's just the way it was. And Antonio said, are you the youngest? No. Oldest? You can't tell that I'm the oldest? No, Mom. Yeah, I don't act like the oldest, Antonio? Is that what you're saying? You said number 1 or number 3? It says Oh, number. I guess you say number one. You know, and it's interesting. Being the oldest, you're born into that. To me, but you also it's a responsibility, and that's probably why now that I'm talking to you, see, I'm voicing all this. It's probably why I told my sister no, because I knew that the responsibility was going to be on me. No matter how I went down, they would say, "Well, you were the oldest. You should have made a better choice." And I just my choice was no, which is telling me I those of you familiar with the book I wrote on saying no nicely, I knew how to say no then. I just said no, no, no. But then I remember one of my girlfriends. See, this is how old I am. You guys, some of you guys don't remember this. When you were in school, they could give you SWATs. I'm gonna take this down for a second, Elaine. SWATs. You know what SWATs are? If you go in the principal's office and they have paddles on the wall. I remember all this. I would call the man. I even remember our principal's name. I remember my teacher's name when I was there at the school, and I remember my principal's name. But the point, I don't want to call the man's name. He could be still living for all I know. But I'm saying that the paddles were different size for the different size kids that came in there. And the principal would hit you on your butt with those things. I'm like, I said, I will never do anything to make that man ever. And I never did. I had friends that did it. They did stuff and they would get to come into the principal's office and they would get swatted with that thing, that paddle. What did they call it? Was it paddling? I forget. But they would get hit with it. That's what I mean, nowadays they would put those people in jail for what they were doing then. You can't be hitting children like that, but they did it. At that time, that was the way it was. If you did something bad in school, you got hit with that paddle. I'm like, no. I'm one of these people. All I did was see the paddle. You didn't have to tell me what's going to happen. I understood what happened if you do something wrong. And one of my friends, and I know if I don't want to call her name either, you can't call. Well, I could call their names because she's not the only one with that name, but I just I'd rather not do that. But she got swatted. She said it didn't bother her. She said it didn't bother her. But I remember her eyes were all watery and teary-eyed. You know, some of it is not the paddle. I think it's the idea that you had to be paddled. I think that was it more than anything. Because I remember when I was in the bathroom with her and she was like, I don't care. She's saying, I don't care, but her eyes are telling me something different. She was, tearing up and everything. So anyway, back to what your birth order is. What as I went off on that, but I'm just saying of our birth, or how does that affect who we are today? Just who we are today. Elaine said, for me, it doesn't mean something. As the youngest child, see, baby sister, no matter how old we get, see, it does mean something, Elaine. Listen to what you're saying. You're saying it. And being 6 and 7 years behind my two brothers, they tended to be very protective. And you were a real tomboy. Okay. But Elaine, look what you said at the beginning. At the beginning, it doesn't mean anything, but it does, because what are you always? Baby sister. It does. You will always be baby sister, no matter what. And that's a good thing. See, I was never that. I'm never a baby sister. I could tell you guys some stories. I might as well tell you the story. So but I say that because I never got that. Let me say that to you, Elaine. You got a chance to your whole life, your baby sister. You will always be baby sister. I was never a baby, never a baby to my family. It's always Mary's the oldest, or they would look up to me, or all those things are real. Let me say that. Birth order is real. If anybody thinks it isn't, I got news. I know it's real. I know when I watch my husband and his family, and I just love it. I love how they love on him. I love how they admire him and they respect him. It touches my heart. It touches my heart to see how they are with him. And he's the oldest. He's the oldest out of 5. And they look up to him and they have nothing but respect for him. And I'm just like, wow, I love it. So I tell anybody, birth order matters. Let me say that it does matter. What's interesting and amazing, Oh, I missed that part, Antonio. Oh, you said I was going to tell you that me and my mommy made some muffins, chocolate chip muffins. Okay, Antonio, I'm gonna give you my address. You can ship them here. No, I'm only kidding, only kidding. So on your birthday, don't. But I should say yes. I mean, you could ship them here, but I like that's one of those things. I know they're gonna be good though. I already know that. Lavinia says, "You said May. It means is your my brother was born in January and I was born in December of the same year, so we are like twins." Exactly. That's like I think Nanette said they're 13 months apart. My sister and I are 12 months apart. And when you're close like that, and you're like just a grade apart, to me, it's almost like you are twins. I think it's almost like you are twins. So keep as you. I'm curious though, as an adult, like you said, I really like what you said, Elaine. I think that is so precious because they're. I mean, I'm sure right now if they pick up the phone, they're gonna call you baby girl. That's like my niece. One of my nieces, I call her pretty girl. I don't even call her by her name. Ever since she was born, I've always just said pretty girl. And that's even now we go somewhere and I don't even call her by her first name. And I know her name, but it's always been pretty girl. So those nicknames matter. And I even get into that. I just went to get to our birth orders matter. Some of you may say, well, no, it doesn't matter if I was the middle or the youngest. And maybe it doesn't in your families, but I know it mattered in our families. I know it did. I know, as I remember well, in fact, and I think about both of my brothers said that to me, and my sisters have too. I'm not going to say they haven't, but at different times in our lives, the brothers were very much saying, Mary, I know you're not perfect. I know that, but you gave us a good example. You let us see you can do this. You can do this. You can go to school. You can do this. You can work. You can all of those things. And I said, you can do it. I'm like, but most of the time I didn't know what I was doing. Truthfully, I just knew I just kept taking steps. That's what the name of the game is to me. Just keep taking those steps, and that makes a difference. So I just did. Antonio, you said you're a young preacher. Antonio, baby, start up. Thank you, Antonio. I am not only a mom, a grandmother, and I'm probably in the next, I say next 4 or 5 years, a great grandmother, God willing. Because the grandchildren, the oldest grandchild is 23. 23. We have another grandchild graduating from next year from high school, so there will be 3 in college at the same time. Well, no, because one will be graduating from college next year. So we'll have 2 grandchildren in college at the same time. And then we have 1 in high school. No, I'm wrong. We'll have 2 in high school, 2 in college, and 1 will have graduated. So yes. So I mean, and that's right. That's not all the grandchildren right now. That's the ones right now. But I'm sure there could be other grandchildren coming. That's just, they're still young enough to have children. They're not so old that they can't have kids. Not at all. And this one I noticed too. People are waiting longer. They're waiting longer to have kids. They're not. When I was growing up, it wasn't unusual. We saw girls pregnant in high school. And I'm not saying they're not still like that, but I think not as much. Let me say that because there's so many different ways to prevent it. So that could be too. And let's see, Antonio, did I get your question? The spring chicken. You're making me laugh, Antonio. And this is Danielle said, Mr. Gorbermate talks about how no 2 kids have the same parents. For example, our parents are different from when the oldest, the middle, and the youngest were born. Our parents changed. You're right. I like that, Danielle. And you know why? Before I came on the show, a lady and I were on the phone, and she said her brother shared with her what the parents were like with him. And I think she was saying he was one of the older brothers. And she said the things he was saying, she never experienced. But she's number 7 out of 9. 9 in her family, and she was number 7. And she said, I was listening to him going, well, where was I when all these things were going on? But that those same two parents, what they were treating the child differently, probably as the child, that's we're different, period. No matter what. It could be same two parents, but we're different people too. That's for sure. Oh, I'm looking young. Oh, thank you, Antonio. I appreciate it. I do. I do. I tell you, this one I have a glam squad that comes in before the show. They do. They come in, they do my hair and makeup. Then I have someone that does my hair and makeup. I have someone that gets my outfits ready for the show, all of that. And that's the glam squad. I tell you, no. Now, if you saw me without everything on, you probably be like, "Wow, you might want to put on a little makeup." I don't think I've done the show without makeup for a couple of years. Usually, I tend to have makeup on. I didn't at one time. I did one show, and my girlfriend called it in the show. She said, "Don't do that again." She said, "Don't do that. Make sure you look presentable." I said, thank you, Antonio. I'm laughing, but I thought that was, it was. She was telling me the truth. That's all it was to it. She was telling me like, I just want you to know, don't think we didn't notice because we did. Now Nanette says, you're the old. Oh yes, the oldest follows the rules, and I was told had to be. Tell me about it. You know what though, Nanette? I'm gonna be honest. As the oldest, that was my charge. Though it's interesting. I don't remember them saying it. I think I just knew it. Think about this. I don't remember my parents saying, you're the old, or maybe they did. I don't remember, but they could have said it. But I knew out of the five, and the difference between our ages, there's 8 years between me and the youngest, which was my brother. It was 8 years between so within an 8-year period, my mother had 5 children. I cannot in my wildest dreams imagine that. But that's how it was at that time. That's how it was. I'm actually writing there. I just talked to Oliver just the other day about that. Said, I think I'm going to write my mom and dad's love story, their story. Because they got married at 15. She was 15 and he was 18 when they married. So, yep, I'm going to write the story. I tell you. Okay, Nanette, you said, yes, the oldest follows the rules. Yep, you're right. And Elaine said, what do you say, Mary? I did say that. You did say what, Elaine? Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think part of me, I kind of wish about being the youngest or something like that, because I never felt like the ones behind me had the same responsibilities. That's what I felt. I felt like they had more leeway to do things. I didn't. I didn't feel like I had the same leeway because I had 4, like, not that they said they were behind me, but they were the ones younger than me. And I always felt like I had to be the example. I don't think I ever have stopped feeling like that, even now, even as an adult, of being the example, of trying to do the right thing, try all those kind of things. But I look back and my own, our sons have said, but that has served me well. Think about that. And they're like, Mom, that's been a good thing. Yeah, it hasn't been a bad thing. I said, that's true. That is very true. Nanette, you said you two were born in December and your brother. Oh, really? Look at that. Wow. I have a friend too. Some of you may know her. She is a writer, Jean Denny. And she was born in the same year as her. It's twins after her also. So it's 3 of them. Think about it, not 2, but 3. So she's born, and then the twins are born, and it's the same year. Wow. I don't know. I just tell you, that's big. And Antonio, he said, and you were wondering if I seen the movie Migration. No. Yet the Easter Bunny came yesterday to visit, and I got that movie for you. Okay. It was pretty good, not too bad. Okay. I haven't seen that movie. I'll tell you what I have seen though. I'm watching it's on Amazon. Is it Amazon? No, I have to ask Oliver. He may come and tell me where it's playing. But the movie is so good. It's a series. It's not on Amazon. Oliver, you may, I don't know if you're watching right now. You could tell me where the movie is playing. But I got up this morning because I want to see how this series ends. Think about how when I watch series, I cannot stand watching series if I can't watch them all the way through. He's gonna come and Oliver. Oh, I thought I heard him at the door. Um, but anyway, it is really good. Let me tell you guys that. So if he peeks his head in, I'll tell you. Okay, where is it? Oh, Showtime. Thank you. See, I told you guys. Showtime. Oliver just told me it's on Showtime, and it's called Your Honor. Oh my goodness! I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, as I watch it, I go, "Will I ever write like that?" I think about those kind of things. I'm like, I'm learning how to be, a screenwriter, but I look at those shows and the twists and the turns and the ends and something will come up, and it's just been like, wow. So I would like to write like that. That's on my list to learn how to write like that. That's for sure. But let me go down. No, I haven't seen the movie Migration. I haven't. I do want to see the movie with Jeffrey Wright. It's an American Fiction. I want to see that. I haven't seen that yet. We tried to see it, but it wasn't playing in Riverside. So I guess we have to wait till it comes on Netflix or something. And the other one was Origin by Ava DuVernay. Those two movies I really want to see. I haven't seen either one of those, so we'll see them. I don't doubt that we will definitely see those. But let's see. Danielle says, no two, what is it? No two chicken are raised in the same family. And the two, chicken or children? It's children, I'm sorry. No two children are raised in the same family. And no two children have the same parents. Wise words to take to heart, whether you're a parent of more than one child or you have siblings yourself. Thank you, Danielle. Danielle, you're right. And we have to get together, Danielle. We're right down the street. It doesn't make any sense. Literally right down the street. And Elaine, sorry, Mary, you have not read. Oh, I have not read what you wrote. I said that the birth order does mean something to me. Oh. At least I was reading so fast. Thank you. Elaine said you just that I skipped right over it. Oh, I thought you said it didn't mean anything, Elaine. Okay, I got it now. Elaine. Because I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that your brothers, I just love it. I love the fact that they call you baby girl, and you always. I think it's baby girl. That you'll always be that to them, and that doesn't change as you get older. As I said, because my niece is 40. She's 40. I still call her baby. I call her pretty girl. We'll always call her pretty girl, because to me, she's a pretty girl. So that's how I started the nickname Pretty Girl, and I've never changed it. So it does, but I think it means a lot, and truthfully, I think it means more to us than we even realize. I really do. I think that birth order is very, very important. And Gwen, you said two things. Firstborn is the test. You run your parents. They're new at this. That's true. Later, children benefit from the parents' growth. And second, parents get tired and lighten up a lot towards the later children. Yeah, I agree. I think I know families when there's just the one child, and I don't know. I would think that that's easier. I don't know because I've never been where it was just one. It's always been because the boys here was three. I was raised in a family of five. I was raised in a family of five. So here we are. There were no singles around us. I'm trying to think how many. I don't know anybody here only. I didn't hear anybody say they were only a only child. Any only children. And how does that? And I'm curious because only children have a different take on things. They really do. But I know a couple of onlys, and the ones I know are girls that are onlys. I don't think I know any onlys that are boys. I don't think so. I just know girls. So anybody else know of onlys that are or any only children? I didn't hear any onlys. I don't think here either. So it's the only child. I used to hear people say the only child is spoiled. I would always hear that they were. So I'm not saying they're not, but I would always hear that they were. Probably because they were the ones that got the attention, the only ones there. Nanette, you said from basic studies on birth order, the youngest child tends to be the mischievous and in trouble. My mother, I didn't hear that. Let me see. Hold on. My mother is the baby out of 8 children, and she was mischievous, but she always stayed out of trouble. The youngest of 8, I would think they could get away with a lot. That's my way of thinking. That doesn't have to be the way it is, but I'm glad she didn't get in any trouble or anything like that. The youngest of 8. I tell you, my mom was, what was she? In the middle out of 17. I know. I said it's amazing that, but she would tell me they never once were that everybody was at home at the same time. It never happened like that. As the kids grew up, they left home. So my grandmother was still having children when her children were having children. They were still having kids together, that's phenomenal to me, but that's just the way it was during that time period. And they were raised on a farm. Those just I'm just amazed. Just total different lifestyle. But then they didn't have TV like we had TV. They had the radio, but they didn't have TV. And all the other things we have, they didn't have all that. Elaine said, your brothers, they call me Laney, is stuck, and I'm Auntie Laney to their kids. Did I say it right? Okay. Mary, my brother Walter. I do know your brother Walter from UCR. I do. I sure do. I've known Walter, oh my goodness. What? I don't want to say how many years because I start telling you about how old I am, but I'll go ahead and tell you. It's been, it's been, to be honest with you, Elaine, it'll be 50 years in June. I've known Walter for 50 years come June. That's how fast these years are flying by now. It seems to me the older you get, the faster the years are going. Anybody else know that? When you were younger, it seems like they went a little bit slower. But now it's like they're going faster and faster and faster. At least that's me talking. I don't know if anybody else feels like that, but that's how I feel. Like they're just getting faster. But yes, I do know Walter. And tell him I said hi. Please tell him I said hi, Elaine. And then that says she was the most, get out. Now that's different. She was the most successful and had 2 college degrees. Wow. And several certificates compared to her other female siblings, both boys financially successful. That's really, really good. I know another family like that where the one that's the baby of the family has done way more than everybody else. And then in fact, I know 2 like that. And I think it could be because they were the only ones there with the mother. The other children, they were all living their life and with their families and everything. I don't know if that has something to do with it or not. I really don't know. But I'm going to do a quick roll call to all these fabulous comments you guys have been putting in. And I'm telling you, I'm doing so much laughing because I'm thinking of myself and my own family. But being, like I said, the oldest of 5, Oliver's the oldest of 5. That alone is a place most people I know that when they're married, very rarely do I hear of the oldest and oldest married. That's rare. Another thing I noticed in my life, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want you to do a personal, when I do this after I do the roll call, just think about this. How has your birth order affected your friend relationships? I'll tell you what I did, a personal inventory one day. 99% of all my friends are firstborn. Think about what I'm saying. And it wasn't intentional. because I didn't know. How would I know what their birth order is? 99. It's almost 100%. I think I have one friend that's not the oldest in her family. Other than that, everybody is. Everyone, as you say, in my circle surround is the oldest. But I did not do it intentionally, and that's what's amazing. I didn't even know what their birth order was. So how could I intentionally do that? But let me go on and do the roll call first, and then we're gonna get back. Okay. Thank you, Antonio, Elaine. I'm going down the list. Nanette, Lavinia, Gwen, Danielle. I'll make sure I get all you. If I skip anyone, please stop me or send me a message so I can go back and call your names. I'm going down, going down. Did I say Elaine? I think I said Elaine. I think I want to make sure I said Elaine. All right. And I'm saying this because I want you to know I appreciate your comments, the interaction. You guys are just cracking me up. But I noticed that, as I said before, it just so happens the women that I'm around they're the firstborn in their family. Think about that. When I found out, I was literally shocked. I was shocked to find that out. And I'm talking about five women around me are all the firstborn in their families. That amazes me how it could be like that, which is saying to me, there's something in them and something in me that we're attracted to. I can't explain it. I just know that this is the reality. I don't even know why. I have no explanation. It's not like some of them are the youngest or some. And this is what I noticed too. Not one is the youngest. Think about not one. They're either the firstborn. Let me say this. We're all the same. We're all the firstborn in our entire families. We're not the firstborn girl. We're the firstborn. We're the oldest of our families. And this is 5 women around me, which is just phenomenal. It's phenomenal. One day I just thought about it. I was just sitting there thinking, I said, oh, so-and-so's the first. And then I went, yeah, so-and-so's the first. And I was like, oh I couldn't believe it. And one of my best friends, I thought she was the second. I didn't even know she was the first because her and her brother are very close. They're like this. So I'm thinking, okay, I just thought he was the firstborn. I had never asked either. When I asked and she told me she was the firstborn, I could not believe it. I was shocked. I was literally shocked. So I don't know what that means. I don't even know how it even happened that way, but it did. So you can do a personal inventory of your friends. Are they the same as you? Are they the same birth order as you? This is just me thinking. I had no idea it would come like that, but it did. So I'm sorry, Nanette, you said my daughter is an only. Oh, your daughter's an only. See, okay, let's see, Nanette. I feel bad for her, but she wasn't spoiled, but very loved. I love that. She was raised old school. Many only children may have many traits like the oldest child. And now I think about it, yes, because Stephanie is an only child. We have one. That's Stephanie. So we do have some. I'm wrong. And we have a grandson. He's an only child. So we do have some. So, but I would tell you, I do your own. I would encourage you to see and it's not like you have to do any of this, but truthfully, I was shocked. I was shocked when I found that out. When I did just kind of put down, because I knew them, I knew their families, but think about this, I had it all wrong. I thought the other one, the one I was telling you about, it's 2 of them. It's a sister and brother. I thought the brother was the oldest. I never asked. I just thought he was. And then she told me she was oldest. I was sitting back going, "You've got to be kidding me." She goes, "No, I'm the oldest." So I think there's something that this is what I've said this to you guys before, I'm sure. I said, what you are seeking is seeking you. Whatever you are seeking is seeking you. That's what I believe. And Gwen says, now friendship, you said friendship affects birth order. I think it does. Like I mentioned me, I'm just using me as an example. He says, how friendship is affected by birth order. Of 9 kids, there were 6 girls. So I had 5 sisters. Never wanted to join a sorority or girl groups because I felt I had enough sisters. So my close friends list is short. Maybe most nimble like me. Is that most middle like you? Could be, but okay. And I like that. I'm listening to you. But I'm curious too. I don't belong to a sorority, and I don't know. I haven't joined one. I'm like this. Who knows? Maybe in the future I'll join one. But I was in college and I didn't join a sorority. I didn't pledge anything. But I have 2 sisters, and I wonder, is that why I didn't pledge anything? Because I already have 2 sisters. So I was like, I already have sisters, and I didn't really. Not that I nothing against it. I had nothing. I just didn't. So I don't know. And all of this, I'm sure there's some psychological things to this. Don't ask me what it is. I'm not a psychiatrist or psychologist, so I have no answers. But I am curious about this because I just started looking at my own life and I start making comparisons and like, why is this and why is that? And I have no idea. And it may not be an answer to it. I don't want to give you the wrong impression. Like, oh, there's some, answer in the sky here. There may not be one, but it's just me making an observation. That's really what it is. I started observing my life and making observations about as this is what the boys say, this, that, and the third. That's what I just think that is cute. This, that, and the third. But anyway, they started making observations about life. So what observations have you made? You may have made some too. Just sitting around thinking, that's all. And that's probably dangerous for me. I sit around thinking, no telling what I'm going to come up. I'll come up with another book if I sit around I start thinking. Elaine, you said, okay, hold on. Make sure I don't want to miss anybody. Elaine, make your comment. Okay. Oh, Dusty, thank you. Elaine said, yes, you said it right. Walter still speaks highly of you and will definitely tell him hi. And I tell you, I think that without a doubt, nothing but respect. Telling respect. I have nothing but respect for Walter. He is, I tell you, gave me excellent advice when I was at UCR. Outstanding. And then that says, my daughter, I missed Elaine's. Oh, okay, that's what it was. I missed Elaine's comment. I'm glad I went back. I hope I didn't miss anybody else. I do that sometimes. You guys have to catch me if I miss a comment. And Gwen, he said, okay, I did that one. Oh, your friends look, and my friend list is relatively short. It's interesting because I have one friend. She's not the firstborn, but she's the firstborn girl. Her brother is the firstborn, but she's the firstborn girl. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't even know what all this even means. I can't tell you. And he said, my best friend is the firstborn, is a firstborn named. My close neighborhood friend is an only. Okay. But then remember, Nanette, you said you felt that the only take on the traits of a firstborn. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, don't worry. I think I can see that though. I can definitely see that an only would. And honestly, the onlys that I've met, they're not spoiled. I just think they like what they like. That's about it. But who doesn't like what we like? I wouldn't say they're spoiled. I think I don't know. I don't see that. I've noticed the onlys, to me, they tend to be very giving. That's what I noticed. I have noticed that onlys tend to be very, very giving. I think they really they have big hearts. That's me saying that. Not that, and I don't want to sound like, oh, so the oldest doesn't have a big heart. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the onlys really, they just really tend to, I think, I'm just speaking from my observations. Can you tell I've been observing all this, through life at different points in life. And I think I've just been curious about it. What does the birth order really mean? Or does it mean anything? That's another thing. Does it mean anything? I think it does. I truly think it does. Elaine says, you agree with Nanette. Oh, let me put you guys up here. Here we go. I only have my daughter. That's right. You're right. But I don't think she's spoiled though, Elaine. Okay. She wasn't spoiled. See, I didn't even get to that part. But loved. I agree. I agree. Jennifer, yes, she is definitely loved. And raised to be independent and a thinker. I was the youngest and I was raised just like this. So I raised her the same. I would agree with you on that. And I'm gonna tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you talk about a smart young lady. Smart, smart, smart is Jennifer. Yep. You're right. You're absolutely right. And then Antonio, you said, Mary, thank you for the show. You're welcome, Antonio. You are so welcome. Can you guys tell I love the interaction? I do. I just love seeing your comments and I enjoy it. I do. Now, don't get me wrong. I'll be still bringing some more guests on, but I get a kick out of just us talking. I really do. So just so you know, oh, thank you. And thank you, Antonio. I enjoyed it. I do. I know we're running out of time. I know we have a few minutes though. And he said, I love your smile and your exciting energy. Oh, it means a lot to me. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This time, it's so interesting. I look forward to the show. I do. I do. I start getting ready. I know the email went out late because we came in. We were visiting for the Easter, and normally it would have went out sooner, but it went out late. But it still went out. I'll be doing one-on-one, I think, for a couple of weeks, and then I will have another guest on and everything. So I'll send the email out sooner this time, though. But that's okay. I just want to make sure it got out. And Nanette, you said, what did you say? You were heavily involved in Girl Scouts? Nanette, I was a Girl Scout. I was a Brownie and I was a Girl Scout, both. I went to Girl Scout camp and everything. With the Girl Scouts and very close. And I like the sisterhood of the women, but I never wanted to be in a sorority either. My sisterhood was the Girl Scouts. You know what I think it is? I'm just going to speak for me. I was also, they call them girl jocks. I played volleyball, basketball, and softball for UCR's women's varsity. So I played one year I played all three sports. That was kind of hard. And after that year, then I only played volleyball and basketball because they were two different seasons. That's it. And I say that was a sisterhood. When you're involved in sports, I'm gonna speak for me. I didn't have time. By the time I went to class and did homework and sports. That was it for me. But I'm going to tell you what I do appreciate about sororities. I think it is a very good thing we have them. I do. I think we need them. I think they serve a purpose in our world, in our society, in our structure. I think it's a very good thing to have it. A friend of mine just crossed Saturday, and she became a Delta. The biggest ones that I've known about is Delta Sigma Theta and AKAs, Alpha Kappa Psi. Did I say right? Alpha Kappa Alpha. That's what that. Okay, but I say that because those aren't the only two. You have the Sigmas, and don't get me to start naming them because I don't know all the Divine Nine, and I want somebody to get mad with me. So I'm gonna stop right there. They're called the Divine Nine, and those are the ones that are predominant. They're Divine Nine are African American sororities and fraternities. Okay. Anybody, from what I know, I don't know the qualifications to join. I don't want to tell you what they are because I don't know. But I do know they serve a good purpose for our society. They do a lot in the community, and I'm glad we have them. Whether and it's your choice whether you want to pledge or not pledge. I'm just glad they're here. So I'm going to say that. And I don't want the sororities and fraternities to get mad with me. Don't be getting mad with me. Don't be sending me any messages. I enjoy them. I think, like I said, I'm glad we have them. And I think I saw my cousin here. Is that Jesse? Hi, Jesse. I called you. Jesse, I called you the other day. Did you notice that? Okay. Oh, did you? Oh, are you? Oh, you must be in Atlanta then. Okay. All righty now. Well, hi, Jesse. I did give you a call about last week. I think it was last week, last Wednesday or Thursday. And then you said, "Oh, it was a psychology. You were a psychology major, and you have read about this subject a lot, like Elaine. Is independent too. Tell me about it." And she's the youngest. She's the baby. But okay, keep this in mind. Elaine's the only girl. See, think about it, Elaine. I do think, and we didn't talk about that. We didn't get into the fact, okay, not only birth order, but what your sex is in that order, whether you be male or female, and on top of that, the birth order. Or I don't know, you said which comes first, the birth order or the sex of the individual. I don't know that, but I know all of it matters. I will say that. And this is Antonio. Oh, you said, I'm glad that we're best friends and family. Oh, that's wonderful. Antonio, I'm telling you, Antonio, I'm waiting. I'll be looking for those muffins. So I just want you to know, Antonio. Danielle said, you agree with Antonio. I love your smile. Oh, thank you, Danielle. Danielle, I'm telling you, we still have to talk, Danielle. I don't know what we're going to do. We got to get together. We have to get together. We just have to. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, all we have to do is walk out our door and walk 5 houses. But you know what it is? We're both busy. That's all it is. Both of us are busy. And then we have the comment. This is from Nanette. You said, technically, did you say, Nanette? Technically, in psychology doesn't agree or put much stock in birth orders. But in my observation, there is something. You know, I've seen both. I've seen where they do put emphasis in it, where they do talk about, do parents treat the order of that individual differently? I will say this. I think they do. I do. I really do. I think we do. I think, and it could be an unconscious thing, but I think, and like, I don't remember who made the comment. They thought by the time that the youngest child comes, they're more lenient. They're harder on the first one. And I think it's a lot of truth to that, by the way. But as they're tired by the time, in my family, by the time they got to my brother, he was number 5. It was almost like, not that he could do what he wanted to, but to a certain extent, you know, because they've gone through 4 children. So I don't know. I don't want to say that, but I think they were definitely, you know, they gave him more leeway than they did the rest of us. Oh, hi, Ruby. Good to see you, Ruby. And Ruby says, as I turned into, that's okay. And you finally talked yourself into going to a brand new, is that recreation center? Oh, for exercise. And you lost track of time. You said, you're going to see the replay to tune in to the post show. Okay. And Oliver says, thank you, Ruby. Oliver says, hi, everyone on the show. I thank you for your continued support. We appreciate your input and support. Oh, thank you, babe. Ladies and gentlemen, we are down to 2 minutes. So any comments that you want to put, I want to thank all of you for your comments. Now, I'm not a psychiatrist or psychologist, so I don't even know if it matters, but it gives you something to think about, doesn't it? It really does, because I am a firm believer that like I said, I've seen how in our families, it matters. It matters. It does matter what order you were born in. And it makes a difference. Danielle said, and you're the only girl too, see? I think, Elaine, I think that has a lot to do with your independence. You're the only girl. You have those older brothers. You know what? I used to think that would be nice to have an older brother. I was it. The brother next to me was 3 years younger than me, and that was my the brother in our that I was raised with. And I'm gonna tell you guys this quick story. Well, I can't tell you. You have to wait till next week because it's 2:00 and it's gonna cut off. I love you guys. I'll see you next Monday. God bless everybody. Bye-bye.